Welcome to Latin America.
Thank you.
How do you feel here?
I feel wonderful. I don't get to the East Coast that much on the Latin side because I live in LA, so we usually go on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. I mean, the thunderstorms have been kind of a bummer, but hey, I'm inside here all day, so it doesn't really matter.
This shooting are real new challenge for you, or is like to drive your car now?
Oh, it's more challenging to drive a car than to do an action film, trust me. Because you don't have a stunt coordinator, you're not attached to a vehicle, you're actually driving like how many tons? Like a 5-ton vehicle yourself. That's really dangerous. I'm really scared to drive. Much more scared than to run down a building or do any kind of stunt, because at least I know I've got 300 people watching to make sure that everything goes right. But you know, I think what is wonderful is that I have a certain level that I don't go below because I've done so many of these movies. So it's always fun for stunt coordinators and stunt people to work with me because they can push me more than they probably would somebody that, you know, did it for the first time, because I already know how to do basic things, so it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, you know? It's always a challenge because I'm like, I don't want to do the same thing I did last time. I want to do something crazier. So it's always a challenge. We never let me get lazy. Okay. And I'm married to the director, so trust me, he won't let me get lazy.
How do you see the evolution of this franchise?
You know, I kind of always say it's the little movie that could. And it really was. It started out this tiny, foreign financed, you know, indie action horror flick, and really turned into this incredible franchise, you know? I mean, it's amazing the growth from the first film where we only had like 3 sets, and 2 of them were hallways that we would just change things around, you know, to make it look different because we had no money to do anything. And how it's just grown and grown in scope, in the fact that now we have the, you know, with the ability to travel, to film in different locations, to give people a real spectacle, where before it was always very claustrophobic, and then suddenly the movie opened up. And not just, I think, aesthetically, but I think it opened up to the world, to the people who really embraced it, you know, embraced the characters, embraced the story, embraced the game. I mean, the sales of the game shot through the roof after the movie. So I think everything's sort of symbiotic with this, you know, everything helps itself, and the movie just naturally progresses how things do, you know? It's like a snowball. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it crashes. So hopefully we'll make one more for the big crash, and it'll be big.
And this director, listen to you, follow your recommendations, ideas, and advice, or no?
Oh, definitely.
Because
I mean,
I hear
we're very collaborative. I mean, we definitely, when I have a good idea, he's the first person to say it's a good idea. When my idea is silly, I don't say stupid in front of my daughter, so every time I start saying stupid, I'm like, silly. But every time I have a stupid idea, he's like, it's totally stupid. So, you know, he's very honest with me, which is great, because in the end, you have 2 minds working together. And I mean, he's the writer. I mean, in the end, he's the one that can sit down and write a script. I could never do that. I can just read it and criticize it. You know, we're all critics, but can you actually sit down and write it? Well, then why are you talking? I'm just saying, I think maybe you could think of something kind of like that. Okay. It's like, okay, fine.
Sweet ride.
Oh, this is Moscow.